Okay, what's up, everybody? What's up? I just wanted to jump on for a bit because I saw this. And I was like, oh man, let me just come on for a bit. Talk about a couple of things that I saw popping off. Popping off. So they're saying Zelensky. They're saying this guy's wearing a tie. For the first time ever, they've seen him in a tie. Cinema said Trump successfully bullied Zelensky into wearing a suit. Oh my, look at it. He don't even look comfortable. It's like he's out of place. Wow, Zelensky. Wow, mamma mia. Look at that, Zelensky. Okay, he's starting. All that money they got, he can put on a suit. All right, I'll see you, Pimpin'.
Good evening.
I thought you guys were at war. You got so much. He does a lot of world press tours, always visiting different places. This was kind of funny too. America begins drafting Gen Z to fight in war against Iran.
My children to die for Israel.
Do not be selfish. Your children will go to war for my people.
Crazy. Netanyahu. CNN gets word that Iran has accepted ceasefire just seconds after Caitlin Collins set up narrative casting doubt on Trump. Let's take a look at this clip right here. I know some people were not happy about the ceasefire. I mean, even people that I was talking to, it was like they were like upset that there was a ceasefire, even though last night there was like not following the ceasefire. But I think today, I have to do a double check. I don't think today there's been any bombings. I think they said that, let me just double check that though. I think they said that as long as the other side doesn't do it, I'm not going to do it. Let me take a quick look at the updates. There's a lot of talk about this intelligence leak. We're going to talk about it too, that they're saying the intelligence leak supposedly casts doubt on Trump's successful bombing. Repeated his claim that he had obliterated Iran's nuclear programs. Mr. Trump started using the word obliterated. The report finding, while preliminary, was particularly damaging because it's emerged from inside the Pentagon, which had carried out the strikes, and it concluded that the military action had only set Iran's nuclear program back a number of months. That's the big talk. We're going to get into that a little bit too. But let me play this clip here.
Now, we're hearing incredibly optimistic views coming out of the White House as far as how long this can hold and what this is going to look like. That obviously still remains to be seen on the implementation side of this, and waiting to see if the firing does stop and if Iran and Israel do both agree to this. Because, you know, speaking of the fluidity of the situation, it was just 24 hours ago that President Trump himself was suggesting a regime change in Iran was a possibility. And obviously right before that, having the United States strike Iran. And so, yes, there have been a lot of phone calls going back and forth. In part, this has to do with Iran's limited response earlier, where they fired on a U.S. base in Qatar, but there were no casualties. We know that they did give a heads up that they were going to be firing on U.S. bases without exactly specifying which ones. But that is the question here, is if the United States felt that it did not need to respond to the Iranian retaliation, did that create the space for this? That is what we've been hearing from administration officials. And so the question is whether or not this still holds for the next few hours.
Caitlin, I just been given word that Iran, according to a diplomat who briefed CNN, Iran has agreed to the ceasefire. So this is significant. I just want to try to learn some more information as soon as we get it.
Look at her face. No, that's good. That's great.
About that. But if that is the case, that's incredibly significant because that is, we were waiting. We had not heard from Iran.
She looked pissed. You can even see the gulp in her throat. She looked pissed.
That's incredibly significant because that is, we were waiting. We had not heard from Iran. We had not heard from Israel. All we were going on so far has been the president's social media post, which was some 2 hours ago. So again, that is the first indication we have that Iran has agreed to this.
She didn't like hearing that. She didn't like hearing that. Okay, so this is the big thing. This is the big thing happening right now today. You know, Trump's not happy about this, that they're reporting that Iran's nuclear facilities didn't destroy the core. The U.S. strikes didn't destroy the core components. And so we're going to get into the response as well. But let me just play this clip.
This is CNN Breaking News.
We have major breaking news into CNN. 3 sources tell CNN that according to an early U.S. intelligence assessment, the U.S. military strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities last weekend did not destroy the core components of the country's nuclear program and likely only set it back a few months.
That's right. So this is an assessment that actually is out from the defense.
What do you guys think about that? And a supposed leaker. Isn't that like, this says somebody from the Pentagon leaked it? Isn't that like, shouldn't you be like fired or held accountable, like treason or something? Like, can't they, I don't know, right?
Intelligence agency, that is the Pentagon's.
But I wonder if it's true. Is it true or is it somebody just putting out
intelligence arm? And it was based on a battle damage assessment conducted by U.S. CENTCOM after the strikes, according to one of the sources. Let's go to CNN national security correspondent Natasha Bertrand, who has this exclusive new reporting.
That's what everybody's talking about right now. I'm looking at multiple articles. Reuters says, oh, let me just show you guys. This is like the big point of, before we get into all the drama stuff, this is like the big point of contention here. U.S. airstrikes failed to destroy Iran's nuclear site sources. Ceasefire in place, but Iran nuclear program may have survived. So Trump, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to send somebody inside that place.
This is to that question that has been asked about how much damage has been done. This is a real question. It's also a political question that has been to something that Don.
Yeah, they're saying it was a leak of a new U.S. intelligence report cast out. It's a preliminary report, but they said that supposedly they don't think the whole thing. It was damaged to the point where they can't like recover it.
Donald Trump has been sort of dealing with here recently. What are you learning, Natasha?
Yeah, look, Brianna, this is the first assessment that we are getting that the U.S. intelligence community has found about the battle damage that resulted from those U.S. military strikes on these 3 Iranian nuclear facilities over the weekend. And as you said, it was produced by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is the Pentagon's intelligence arm. And it is worth noting that it is a very early assessment. The strikes were only a matter of days ago, and the intelligence community is still gathering intelligence. They are still working to come up with a full, comprehensive picture of what exactly happened here. But based on a battle damage assessment that was carried out by U.S. Central Command, essentially looking at the images and looking at what was actually damaged, the Defense Intelligence Agency has assessed that the core components of Iran's nuclear program are largely intact, and that Iran's nuclear program has essentially only been set back by months. Now, we presented this information to the White House for comment, and White House Press Secretary Caroline Wren, she did acknowledge the existence of this assessment, but she said in a statement that the administration disagrees with it. She said, quote, "This alleged assessment is flat out wrong and was classified as top secret, but was still leaked to CNN by an anonymous low-level loser in the intelligence community." The leaking.
Oh, so do they know who it was? I wonder. I was going to get to her reply. Yeah, this alleged assessment is flat out wrong and was classified as top secret, but was still leaked to CNN. That is crazy to have somebody inside of this place leaking this stuff. Oh, I gotta get it out. I gotta. You should do. That's what people within are working to, like, you know, to counter whatever Trump's doing. And like I said, I wonder if it's true. But at the same time, you have somebody like, if they're leaking it out to CNN, who else are they leaking it out to? You know, You got spies over there too. Well, not maybe leaking information to other countries. This alleged assessment is a flat-out wrong and was classified as top secret, but was still leaked to CNN by an anonymous, low-level loser in the intelligence community. The leaking of this alleged assessment is a clear attempt to demean President Trump and to discredit the brave fighter pilots who conducted the perfectly executed mission to obliterate Iran's nuclear program. Everyone knows what happens when you drop 14 30,000-pound bombs perfectly on their targets. Total obliteration. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Of this alleged assessment is a clear attempt to demean President Trump and discredit the brave fighter pilots who conducted a perfectly executed mission to obliterate Iran's nuclear program. Everyone knows what happens when you drop 14 30,000-pound bombs perfectly on their targets, total obliteration. Now, it is worth noting here that there has been dissent, I should say, within the intelligence community, within the defense community about just how much of an impact these massive bunker buster bombs would actually have on Iran's nuclear facilities. It was far from certain, given that these bombs had never been tested in an actual combat scenario, whether they would actually penetrate those very, very deep underground tunnels that lie underneath these nuclear facilities. And what we are told is that as of now, this Defense Intelligence Agency assessment, it does conclude at this point, again, it is still very early, that those underground facilities, including the centrifuges, including the highly enriched uranium that everyone has been talking so much about, those are largely intact. Now, of course, this does stand at odds with what President Donald Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth have been saying in recent days about the impact of these U.S. military strikes. Of course, President Trump said it was totally obliterated, and Secretary Hegseth did as well. And he actually also provided CNN with a statement. And he said that, quote, based on everything we have seen, and I've seen it all, our bombing campaign obliterated Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons. Our massive bombs hit exactly the right spot at each target and worked perfectly. The impact of those bombs is buried under a mountain of rubble in Iran. So anyone who says the bombs were not devastating is just trying to undermine the president and the successful mission. Now, our sources did emphasize here that there was severe damage that was done.
So what is it then? What is it? There was and there wasn't, or what?
Largely to the above ground structures at
above ground. That's not what those bombs do, though.
These nuclear sites.
Above. So CNN is saying most of the damage. Some report. First, they're saying that First, they were saying that people were saying the sites were missed. They didn't even hit the sites. Then they're saying it was hit, but there was like no damage. Then they said, "Oh yeah, it hit." And it was damaged. Then they said it was massive damage. Now they're saying it's only the top. Well, we've seen the top. They're not made to damage surface structures. It's made to go underground.
Is buried under a mountain of rubble in Iran. So anyone who says the bombs were not devastating is just trying to undermine the president and the successful mission. Now, our sources did emphasize here that there was severe damage that was done largely to the above ground structures at these nuclear sites. And so there was damage done, of course, by these massive bombs. But the core components of the nuclear program, we are told, they are largely intact, and it only set the program back by a matter of months. Boris Brianna.
That's crazy. I know they love that, though. They do love that. Anything to just be like, oh, it's a waste of time. That's what they're trying to say. There's no point in it. So this is Caroline Leavitt herself, where she said the same thing. The alleged assessment is a flat-out wrong and was classified top secret, but was still leaked to CNN by an anonymous low-level loser in the intelligence community. The leaking of this alleged assessment is a clear attempt to demean President Trump and discredit the brave fighter pilots who conducted a perfectly executed mission. Okay. Oh, she even linked the CNN article. They probably want that, though. They need the views and attention. The CNN story was written by the same reporter who wrote the very first fake news story claiming that Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. How did that work for you, Natasha? Dang, they tagged her ass. Ooh, did she reply? Hunter Biden is Russian disinfo. The Hunter Biden. They've been still claiming that same Russian stuff, this Russian collusion still to this day. Dozens of former intel officials say. Wow, let's see, did she reply? She was tagged, she didn't say nothing. Why did Natasha turn the replies off to her post? Let's see. Oh, she getting bombarded? CNN.
Always unnamed source's face with rolling eyes.
Yeah, she turned off the replies too. I guess maybe she was getting bombarded on X. Run. Okay. So see, Stephen A. Smith too. Hey, Island. Thank you for the video you sent me too. I'm going to play some snippets from it. Crowder. I haven't watched it yet. Thank you for the 5. Stephen A. Smith infuriated over Dems. Let's just listen to see what he had to say.
Now, here's where I get frustrated because once again, here's the novice that's a centrist that comes into play and he's listening to all of this stuff. And here's where I get infuriated.
The impeachment.
The Democrats are calling, or at least some of them, are calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump. Same old song and dance. Thought we heard this before. I thought that was over and done with. The minute you lost the election with the popular vote in the electoral college vote and losing every swing state. I thought we were over that. But evidently not. Question number 1. No matter what you feel about the President of the United States, do you think that's the time, while we're in the middle of such strife, to be calling for the impeachment of the President of the United States? Particularly if you're a representative, you're an elected official in the United States of America? I don't think so. That's number 1. Number 2, were the Democrats saying that when Obama bombed Libya? When he was in office? We're making all of this noise about how the War Powers Act is utilized and how Donald Trump didn't receive congressional approval. Well, this is not an act of war. This is eradicating a threat. Civilians weren't targeted. Nuclear sites were targeted. So if nuclear sites were targeted, but no civilians were targeted, then that's not a war. At least not yet.
Well, the only part with that argument, yeah, if you go nuke somebody's nuclear, that could be considered war.
Which means that
I think it could be.
You can navigate your way around the War Powers Act itself, and you don't have to concern yourself with receiving congressional
Well, in that case, what he's saying,
approval.
yeah.
The Democrats know that because of Obama. So if you knew that because of Obama and you didn't say it when it involved him in Libya, why would you turn around and all of a sudden try to make that case against Donald Trump?
Stephen A. Smith. We're live. Oh, wait, I'm not even on the screen. I thought I was on the screen. Alex Jones. So, man, Laura Loomer's been catching heat. Everybody's coming for her. I don't know if it's because she kind of put people on notice. She said take screenshots of all these people that have turned on Trump. And some people really didn't like that. And so people are coming for her. And the thing with the last episode, apparently, too, that we did, the whole thing with the dog food, I thought it was a fake thing, but she's saying that's a real site. There was some guy claimed that he set up a fake dog food company and paid her $100 to eat the dog food. But she's saying it's an actual company and whatever. So it's not with that situation, she's saying that's what it is. But anyway, Alex Jones made a video. I haven't watched this yet. He said Laura Loomer embraces Ye's Hitler worship, but claims Tucker Carlson is an anti-Semitic monster for wanting to stop nuclear war. So we're going to watch some of that. And she says, what are you talking about, Alex Jones? I don't embrace anything Hitler worship. I used to respect you, but you've shown me I can't trust you or anyone from InfoWars anymore. And she's got Schroeder. Her and Schroeder got into it too. Schroeder.
Alex Jones be looking fine lately.
Yo, Alex, man.
Aymmmm.
Yo, Alex, I'm like, damn, man. Like, I saw him the other day, yesterday. I was like, I need to know what Alex is doing. I need to get on a regimen. Push up. He says he's hitting the gym. I need to know what kind of pills he's taking, what injections he's doing, what is that, man? Yeah, he's like skinny. Well, he's lost a lot of weight. He's muscular. I'm like, damn. Thank you for the 5. But, so yeah, she said, I used to respect you, but I can't trust anybody over there. One day you praise my work and talk about how great my work is. The next you turn on those who stood by you when you were canceled. Over time, people reveal themselves, either as loyal friends or disloyal. I stood by you when you were canceled, but as time proves with everyone in this industry, you are more concerned with amplifying yourself and telling lies, like I embrace Hitler worship. Tucker Carlson said, I don't care about U.S. interest. That is a blatant lie. He said what he said because he doesn't think Jewish people are American. That is a fact. You should go re-listen to all. And I have a crazy story with Laura. So hang around till after this video because I can't say that it's true, you know, because it's a random post, but it's a crazy ass story. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. You should go re-listen to all your clips of saying, wow, Laura's such a fighter for America first. Guess you didn't believe anything you said.
Loves Yay. And she used to, and then Laura Loomer. Oh, she loves Yay. And she used to love Nick Fuentes when she wasn't in the entourage of Trump. Oh, she was smiling and laughing, you know, next to.
There is a all-out, I don't know if it's war or maybe just a all-out fallout with the right. The split that has happened.
A guy saying he loves Hitler and wouldn't even dare challenge him on it because she was so starstruck being around Ye. And now I tell Ye's full of crap sitting right there.
Jews aren't American. They are Israelis. Tucker is right.
Because I know all about Hitler from the real history and the deep stuff. But now Tucker Carlson, though, he's a secret Nazi. That's right. He's got a red armband. He's got a Nazi swastika on his ass.
This guy is so ridiculous, Alex, but
because I know all about Hitler from the real history and the deep stuff. But now Tucker Carlson, though, he's a secret Nazi. That's right. He's got a red armband. He's got a Nazi swastika on his ass. That's called bullshit. And it's called hypocrisy. I mean, Laura, you run around with people that put out music videos saying Heil Hitler.
Oh. That's, I can't lie, that song rides. It does kind of ride. I cannot fucking lie. They ban the song everywhere. It sound, even in the system. That song is crazy. That's a crazy Kanye.
Yeah.
So I guess she's saying she hangs out with Kanye, or I don't know.
And then you're going to say Tucker Carlson's a Nazi as if that hurts people. Tucker Carlson's not a Nazi. He's sophisticated. He's an American.
So she's been going, if you haven't been following, she's been going after kind of Carlson and calling out what she says is hypocrisy. I feel like sometimes he is, the text messages, all that. But anyway, they've been beefing. And so now Alex is like stepped in kind of.
He's a populist. He doesn't like Hitler. He doesn't like totalitarianism. That's why I don't like Hitler. And I don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. And I don't like the Ayatollah. And I don't like Xi Jinping. And I don't like people that steal elections. And I sure as hell don't like people that throw rocks in glass houses. So I'll quote Jesus to Laura Loomer. And I'm just singling her around as an example. I can't wait for her to attack me. I'm really looking forward to it. Jesus was being accused of being, evil and sinful by a Pharisee. Maybe it's a Sadducee. And he says, hey, why don't you get the beam out of your eye, the 2x4, before you tell me about the speck in mine?
It's very frustrating as a literal person who cares about what's true to see people jumping up Mark Levin or Laura Loomer, that's the world's creepiest human. I don't even know where she came from or who she is exactly, but she's running around. I'm Donald Trump's, defender. It's bizarre.
Champion.
And I'm the arbiter of what it means to be for
Sometimes it's good to have a ride or die.
America, someone who, again, has no interest in the United States, demonstrated no interest. So I think it's just important. It's not a matter of score settling, and I don't care what Mark Levin does in his private life. I don't care what his opinions are. And Laura Loomer, I'm not even really sure who she is. However, if people like that,
and like we talked about earlier, Tucker said he not even sure who she is, but she put out text messages of them texting before a couple of years ago.
Are able to.
A lot of these people at the top know each other. They're all like converse, hang out, socialize in certain groups and stuff.
Take over a political movement whose stated goal is to serve the United States, first and foremost, America first, make America great again. If those people can take control of that political movement, First of all, it's an offense against reality and truth, but second, it's really dangerous for the country.
On in the next hour to get his take on all of this.
Ooh.
On right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, ladies.
I gotta hear. Who's he bringing up?
So we're witnessing just incredible developments right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to get Nick Fuentes on.
Oh, Nick's going on? Uh-oh.
In the next hour.
And Nick Fuentes has also been gunning for Laura Loomer. Like, everybody, just like all this craziness.
To get his take on all of this. And again, when I have been critical of Trump, I don't make apologies for that. I've always promised my listeners that you're going to get from me exactly what I think. And that's the way I've always been. And you've got the real Johnny-come-latelys who you see most of them are just sock puppet accounts. Some of them are influencers, people, you know, maybe supporting Trump 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And you see them on Instagram, X.
And there's been more accounts that have gotten banned. There was the account the other day that was accused of like actually being a Pakistani, and the guy's like, "No, I'm American." Blah blah blah. His account ended up getting banned, or he deleted it. He got exposed.
It's everywhere, and it's all the same talking points, attacking anybody that goes, "Hey, Pakistan. This can get out of control. Look what these experts are saying. Hey, this could increase inflation. Hey, they're not going to get the enriched uranium. The Iranians have already pulled it out of there for many years. This is not rocket science." And so then Israel will demand regime change. And this is just getting the war started. And within days, Netanyahu says, we want regime change. And now they're lobbying, and Trump started to go that way. And I go, that's crazy. You did say you'd take out their nuclear program or they didn't give it up. You didn't lie on that. But Trump saying, yeah, I support regime change 2 days ago. I had to say, that's
New
not
emojis.
true.
Candace Hijab, Jew Loomer, white supremacist Nick.
Oh. We might have to make some emojis, man. We might. It's just, everything's just so crazy right now with the war and all this stuff. I don't remember last time we did like a standoff or anything like that, you know? It's just been so, like, this world news, you know? The whole thing with regime change, too, I think Mark Dice had a really good thought on that. I don't remember. I watched. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
The last time I was this stunned, Chris Cuomo was covering the hurricane in a t-shirt. Wow.
You're really feeling him, huh? He might be single. I know he's not married anymore, right? The regime change. Let me see, because this guy, I saw that too. That post that Trump made, but let's see. There we go.
It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? MAGA. Make Iran great again. And so now tons of MAGA folks are completely outraged. But I think that they are reading wrong into this. This is President Trump just trolling the regime over there and using this as more leverage to then come to the negotiation table to negotiate a peace deal.
MAGA.
You just broke a promise if you go forward with this. So I'm all about keeping my promises. And sometimes if I've got to say, hey, I've changed my mind on something, so I'm not going to do what I said I was, I can't even remember when I did that. Because almost always, if I make a promise, it's something that's clear cut and I know is right. So, but I love people thinking putting pressure on me or others or bullying us is going to make us shut up. I'm going to explain something to you. I've been on Access Television from the time I was just turned 20. Within a couple of years, I had a local radio show. But a few years after that, syndicated, that I got syndicated myself, found out who the smaller syndicators were, went with them, had them, literally, I had to pay for my satellite time myself. They said, yeah, we'll see what you do. And then I got sponsors, and immediately, it was profitable. But I went out and did that, bootstrap. And by 2001, I was on 200 stations, and I mean 50,000 waters during the heyday of talk radio in major cities. You know, New York, Chicago, L.A., 10,000 waters, 1,000 waters, you name it. 100,000 watt FMs, 50,000 coming in, millions of dollars. Never even tried to make that. And I went and hired crew and built a film studio and invested it to fight the globalist. And then I go on air on 9/11 and the days after and say, clearly bombs in the buildings. I saw them on TV say they blew up Building 7. We learned about the stand-down orders and all the passports found in the rubble and a missile hitting the Pentagon, on and on and on. And we had the stations calling the first week. They said, man, we love you. You're getting top ratings, but we're going to take you off the air. And within a month, 70+% of my radio stations were gone.
Damn. Woo. Just like that, huh?
It's more than that. I had almost like 175, but we had a bunch picking us up, didn't even tell us. Let's say 175 radio stations. I went down to about 30 radio stations in a month. So that's more than 70%. And it meant nothing to me to have the majority of the money go away. Because I'd been banking, the extra money came in, and I operated at a loss for like 5 years.
Damn. Wow.
Off the $6-7 million I made for those couple years where I exploded, I still stayed in a modest house, drove a modest car, went on modest vacations, wore modest clothes, because I don't care about that type of stuff. Did buy a couple extra nice guns, though. That I didn't buy modest. That's a love affair. And did give money to family for surgeries and, stuff like that they needed. Did stuff like looked at the best charities, bought hospital beds for kids in Latin America, did $1 trillion. The GDP of India, they said 1.4 for doing things I never even did, questioning a mass shooting, peeing on graves. Nobody ever did it. To just scare the hell out of people. So see, I get $1.4 billion judgments. That's my reward.
Damn. Woo!
But my rewards are in heaven and on making this earth a better place as well for our future progeny. Cool Kid Club. Never have been, never wanted to be. I wouldn't be part of any organization that would have me. Weaknesses, and I'm a good person.
Here we go. Back to Laura.
Sit like a bird on a perch higher than another bird like cockatoos do so I can feel more powerful. I don't dislike black tie dinners. Quite frankly, I'm a married man. It's a little tempting, so I got to stay away from that.
Oh, he's still married? I thought he got divorced. Or he remarried?
That's why I don't go on the road a lot and go a lot of places and things.
Of course I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Qatari-backed influencers to get the U.S. nuked by their Muslim paymasters.
Because I got my weaknesses, and I'm a good person. But the point is that I am integrity. And that's why they constantly, like Fauci said, I'm the science. I'm somebody who tries to be the best person I can and has courage and strength and has integrity.
All right.
Message out. I'm trying to hide it here. Oh my God. I've seen like thousands of posts by other people.
When can we admit that Tucker Carlson is a raging Jew hater? In reference to me and Mark Levin, he calls us those people and says we don't serve U.S. interests. He is denying we are American because we are Jewish. I know many people who know Tucker, and they have all told me they hate Jews. I'm not Israeli. I'm an American citizen. And making sure Iran doesn't nuke the U.S. is America first.
And then it gets you. I'm going to report you. Well, good. We can take all the publicity we can get. That's ridiculous. Go back to me real quick. Yeah, there she is calling Tucker Carlson a raging Jew hater. All right, let's just stop right now. And I like Laura Loomer. She's a nice person. She's just got a little excited, kind of on a power trip.
I guess if you get out a lot, you better stay in line with these people. You come to our party, you have a little drink or whatever, food, dinners, you better stay in line.
She's always, I'm getting screenshots of every one of you, and I'm going to give it a
Yeah.
Gee, you think somebody on X that's getting millions of views, us billions, but other people millions, do you think when I posted a picture of Trump saying what we voted for and then a picture of George W. Bush, what we're getting, and then I said, I hope this isn't the case? Do you think when that got like 8 million views or whatever, last time I checked, and then posted everywhere else so you can't even count it, it got put on the national news, do you think I was doing that to hide it?
Oh, shit.
You know, when car dealerships are having a big sale and they put big spotlights up at night in the city, are they trying to hide the car dealership, sweetheart?
Oh, shit. God damn.
I love that line in Network when they're going to put the crazy guy, Howard Beale, in there. He's getting top ratings. And the old news director goes, I'm going to make a big deal out of this. I'm going to go to all the newspapers and media and expose you. And Robert Duvall goes, good, we can take all the publicity we can get. It's like, I'm going to throw you in the briar.
Well, I think she's trying to say, too, when people walk it back or they go and delete their posts after the fact, all this kind of stuff.
Badge, I'm going to attack you. It's like, what the hell do you think I do? But I don't do stuff for publicity. Like when Laura Loomer attacked Trump for taking the plane.
Which plane?
Which go to the Air Force. We can take gifts totally legally. That's great. It's good to have stuff come back to our country instead of the other way around. Oh, no, they get their little try to, their flex. But, if you're trying to stop a nuclear war, you're a bad person. And then Laura Loomer, she loves Ye. And she used to love Nick Fuentes when she wasn't in the entourage of Trump. She was smiling and laughing, next to a guy saying he loves Hitler. And wouldn't even dare challenge him on it because she was so starstruck being around Ye. And now I tell Ye's full of crap sitting right there. Because I know.
You had him on too. You were smiling and laughing too.
All about Hitler from the real history and the deep stuff. But now Tucker Carlson, though, he's a secret Nazi. That's right. He's got a red armband. He's got a Nazi swastika on his ass. That's called bullshit. And it's called hypocrisy. I mean, Laura, you run around with people that put out music videos saying Heil Hitler. Yeah. And then you're going to say Tucker Carlson's a Nazi as if that hurts people. Tucker Carlson's not a Nazi. He's sophisticated. He's an American. He's a populist. He doesn't like Hitler. He doesn't like totalitarianism. That's why I don't like Hitler and I don't like a
little bit.
So I'll quote Jesus to Laura Loomer.
Oh, God.
And I'm just singling her around as an example. I can't wait for her to attack me. I'm really looking forward to it. Jesus is being accused of being, evil and sinful by a Pharisee. Maybe it's a Sadducee. And he says, hey, why don't you get the beam out of your eye, the 2x4, before you tell me about the speck in mine? So, Laura, I'm just putting you over my knee here and spanking you. I know that's what you've wanted and you've been mad I haven't given you that. But that's okay. But I'm metaphysically putting you over my knee right now and giving you a spanking.
Go get out of line,
you cannot sit in Kanye West's lap during his beginning of his I Love Hitler tour and prance around like a gremlin at their feet. And then suddenly be, wearing giant stars of David, which is really the seal of Solomon. Not the Star of Rim fan. I love people, you're covering up Star of Rim fan. No, it's the seal of Solomon. And it's even worse than all the idiots out there say it is. They just never get it right. It's the seal of Satan that seals the demons in. But you can't ever get anything right. Not the Nazis.
When the entire InfoWars crew talks about how Trump is amazing tomorrow, remember they all bashed Trump over wanting to make sure Iran can't have nukes. Will they admit they were wrong? Iran had nukes. That's why Trump struck them today. He made the right decision.
Not the crazy Zionists. None of you. You're fools. You know nothing of history. You only claim you know it.
You were just telling me that you had a brain disease and you
discovered this methylene.
All right, the methylene blue, man. What is up with that shit? What's up with the methylene blue? Anybody ever try that? You gotta be careful where you take that, though, because I think it can contradict medications. But has anybody taken that? What do you get? Do you get superpowers from that shit? What is coming from that? So anyway, Alex replied under her post where she said she basically stood by him. I used to respect you, and I used to ride with you guys. No, I don't. He replied back to her and said, "You defend Kanye West, but attack Tucker." So he doesn't like that she went for Tucker. Nothing against you, Laura. I think you do a lot of great work, but when you use classic leftist talking point on patriots, I'm going to call you out. I said ye had a right to free speech. Tucker is pretending he doesn't know who I am. Yep. And making derogatory remarks about those people when it's obvious he's talking about Jews when he's talking about my support for Trump. He is saying I should have no say or place in America first. I've been here since day one. I never turned on Trump like Tucker did. Why don't I have a place here? Because I'm Jewish? What did he mean by those people? You people! I sometimes used to purposely say you people because people get so triggered. What do you mean, you people? You people. What does that mean? You crazy motherfuckers. That's what you mean. You're all in a group. What do you mean, you people? Ugh. So that was that. There was this other post real quick too. Not gonna lie, I was wrong about crazy Laura Loomer and her hit list binder. It's become clear to me that having a MAGA Karen out there with a list of names of all the people who turned on Trump the past 12 days is actually necessary. She's like the Harley Quinn of the right.
Told you to check the blue out. I have take it for years. It's
oh, you
great.
have? Really? Oh, snap. Okay. Can you reply under that post? What do you like? Do you feel like a mental clarity? Some people say it's like a natural, like an Adderall or something. Do you get superpowers? Are you erect all day? Like, what's going on with that? Methylene blue. The Harley Quinn. Yo. She's not crazy. She's just right. Even when I talk like shit, Laura, let's pump the brakes. Laura. Basically a 3-on-1 debate. They still lost. Let's see.
That's just one of them. So he's saying it's America, not Israel, right? So he said the American government.
He said Israel was involved too.
He also said that Macron
Iran is now the boogeyman. No, that's what we're saying.
I love Alex Jones. I'm a big fan of Alex Jones, but he also said that Macron had a giant bag of Coke when it was a napkin, like on the table. So,
oh, that whole thing, napkin gate, Coke gate. Yeah, that was wild.
He gets some things wrong. He does get some things wrong every once in a while, but I do like it.
But not that though.
I don't know, man.
But not that.
No, you guys always. This is the problem with trying to. You
don't know if there was a terrorist attack on September 11th.
No, you try to pin me down and again get me to agree with your narrative when I don't, and I'm not going to.
Oh, that's Troy right there.
That's the thing, man. Like you keep saying that, but like this is really when you moderate something. I'm honestly just trying to get clarity. But that was just a factual thing, right? Like it's either you're going to believe that I just showed you a fake video that Tucker Carlson.
Alex Jones predicted it. There are
okay. He predicted 9/11.
Sure, yeah, he predicted 9/11 happening. Yeah.
How did he do that?
I don't know, but say like you. That's the thing. You got to tell like how did he predict it? Is it at all?
Because I will tell you, it's a script, and they're going off the exact script again, and that's what I'm trying to warn us about. That's what I'm trying to stop Trump from doing, which he knows. He knows.
Is there
called it all out?
Is there any possibility, even a small possibility, that you're wrong?
About what?
About this whole Iran thing. Like it's a script. Is there even a little possibility that you are actually wrong?
No
possibility. So people who speak in absolutes like that should not be taken seriously.
Focused energy. I told you check it out.
Oh,
it's
focused energy.
electron accepted. Mitochondria booster.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Brain, the limitless power. People that speak in absolutes too kind of annoy me sometimes. Because they basically think they're always right. They're never wrong. They can never, and if they're wrong and you tell them, they never hear it. It just glides over their ears. They never accept it. It's always assumptions, and they're always right.
That's a Star
when you don't know
Wars
sometimes.
quote.
You literally think there's no possibility that you could be wrong. No.
About what? What are you talking about? We're already involved in Iran. They're already striking. I'm already right.
You're saying that it's a script, and I'm assuming you mean
of course it's a script.
I mean, yeah, so the CIA is involved, and this is just a giant
Yes.
psyop. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's no possibility.
Welcome to the world.
So there's no possibility that Iran just is a terrorist-like group that wants to take out America with a nuclear weapon.
That's a straw man. That doesn't. That's not the point. The point is they're going after the same script, and every single regime that Netanyahu has lobbied for Congress to overthrow, he has gotten.
I saw a Candace Owens thing that was really interesting earlier. I like his microphone, that gold microphone. That looks dope. All right, so this is a really crazy story, man. I don't know. Milo posted this. Another person on the right that was gay, but now he's straight, apparently. So. And this is like from 2017, some type of anonymous account. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? Take it with a grain of salt, but it's still a crazy, weird ass story. It's so hard for me to believe this, but look, okay. It says, I'm a member of the Proud Boys who decided to go to the HWNDU exhibit in New York. When it was still a big thing, I showed up, and while there, I ran into Laura Loomer. I try to think I'm a nice person, so I was befriending some of the people there, and after we all had a good time trolling the camera and Paperboy, I asked some people if they wanted to grab some coffee and food nearby. Some random people and Laura said sure. We went, talked, had a good time, exchanged our stories. We all made off-color jokes about blacks, Asians, Jews, Antifa, etc. Our group was pretty diverse there. I can't disclose what I do for work, but I gave some of them my business card. Laura was one of them. A day later, I got a call from Laura saying, I know what you are. Call me or I will out you to your employer and neighbors. I didn't know what it was all about. I called and she told me she had recorded all of us making those jokes and was ready to publish it and ruin my name and the people I work for unless I met with her. I was freaking out. Because of what I saw happening to others, I barely get by as is, so I couldn't lose my job. I showed up to where she told me to try to handle this and she showed me a doctored video of me telling the 6 million Jews in Hitler's Volkswagen ashtray joke. Then she showed me laughing at a black slavery joke. I was shocked. I couldn't have my life be ruined by something I said in private. So then there's like another part to the post, supposedly, I guess from the same person. You can't put this out there. It will ruin my life. Don't do this, in quotes. You have two options. Here's one. I put this out there. Or two, you take me out on a date tonight. What? Take me. Okay. I was literally repulsed. I have no attraction to this person. I'm attracted to Latinas. And HAPA woman. What the hell is HAPA woman? HAPA woman? HAPA? Is that some new terminology they made up? You already can tell you're not no problem. What the hell is HAPA? Who says that shit? That's some weird pronoun shit. What is that? HAPA woman. Hawaiian? What? From Hawaiian, meaning half foreign, part white. Who says that shit? Who uses that terminology? I never even heard of that shit. That shit don't even sound right to me right there. HAPA woman. I had no choice but to take her on a date. So, okay, this guy was blackmailed into going on a date, I guess, supposedly, allegedly. She promised to delete this footage. I met up with her and tried to be civil and polite. She kept drinking and trying to run her fingers through my curly hair, saying how soft it was and saying how I smelled so good. After eating, she demanded I take her to my studio for a nightcap. I really didn't want to. When we get there, she went into my fridge, drank my beer, and sat down on my futon. What came next made me get therapy. She took off her pants and demanded that I eat her, her stuff down there. It was horrible. It tasted like undercooked wet bread that had been doused in salt. I couldn't even fight back because I was so scared for my life getting ruined by her. I need the world to know that Loomer is awful and her pee tastes awful. Hashtag me too. I don't know about this. It's the stories doesn't make. The thing is, if this person was really so afraid and worried, why would they post it? Because she would know exactly who that is. I don't understand. But I came across this today scrolling the world of X, and I was just like, bro. That's just crazy, man. Hapa is half Hawaiian, half Caucasian. Hawaii people say it all the time. Really? I've never heard of that in my life. Hapa. I mean, I like them Hapa girls, yo. Oh, yeah, Hapa. Oh. What a crazy story, right? But look at the thing with that, though. Look how many people... I haven't refreshed it. Let me refresh. Almost 2,000 likes. Was this what turned you gay? This user really led with "I'm a proud boy," so that I don't believe it either. It's just so fantastical, but it's a crazy ass story. This is Dave Portnoy, and he's Jewish, and he there was some recent big controversy with him and some other guy because these people, I think, went to his bar or restaurant and they put up a sign. I don't know if it was F Israel or Jews or something, and so there's like this huge lawsuit going on right now. So he's speaking on Candace Owens.
I will say she's a lunatic. This is somebody who grew up their entire life, like, I'm pretty sure pretty left. Like, enough where people, if they said something mean about her, she created a doxing website.
She did. Her notoriety back then was like this doxing website.
Like, literally, and then she got shamed for that. Like, if you said something mean, you get canceled. Then one day she woke up, she's like, this isn't getting me the views. I'm going. She went extreme left to extreme right. Like, bang, like snap.
And now what, she's left now again?
Her fingers. But she said, if Trump said we're going to like get involved, you should, and you're in the military, you should dishonorably discharge.
Yes, that was wild.
That's like you go to jail for that. It ruins your life. It's the most insane, and they just say idiotic things like this and move along. Like it literally is like go commit a crime. Like,
let me show you because Piers Morgan had asked her about that. It was actually a really good episode. I didn't get to finish. He dropped an episode today. It was Candace Owens, Glenn Beck, which I actually mentioned him earlier today, Bill O'Reilly. They weren't all together. They was all like separate, it seemed. It would have been interesting to see them go at it together, but let me just show you the... Oh, crap. Where's it at? This honorably... Candace Owens. I can't lie though. Some of the stuff she was saying, I was listening to Piers Morgan, and she was cooking. She was cooking about some of the stuff going on in the wars, like previous wars, and like why the Middle East probably hates us. Like some of the stuff, I see what she's saying. Let me see here.
I think we have agreement, but I come back to the fact that the reason Trump has done this, I think, is that he has for a long time said Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb. I think he's absolutely right to believe that would be a pretty terrifying escalation of the power of a country that's been so wedded to terrorism in the region. And I think he took the action for that reason. So I don't really agree that he's only doing it because Bibi Netanyahu wants him to go along and do it. I think he's doing it because he believes it's in America's strategic interest that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. No president in living memory has, with almost zero exceptions, has bothered to get congressional pre-approval for military strikes. We know that. You know that.
Yeah, we know that. And that's not okay. By the way, that's not okay. That's not
Yeah. But the thing is, nobody complained about it like they complained about it with Trump. Like everybody else has done. It seems like with Trump, even the deportations. I mean, which I understand. It feels like the deportations now. Like it's like cameras everywhere. Everything's watching everything. But Obama was the #1 deporter, and from what I saw earlier, I still have to go like research it. But they were saying supposedly like Biden had so far deported more than Trump this year, like matching year to year or something like that. He's actually underperforming, I think, with deportations. If that's true, I saw one of the statistic things. But the only point I'm making with that is when Trump does it, there's a uproar. Everybody else does it, nobody says nothing really. Seems like it.
Strikes on anybody, right?
Yes.
I mean, Obama never asked anybody for any permission.
I'm not an Obama supporter. Yeah, that doesn't make it okay. By the way, like that argument, just so we're clear, saying, well, we've been doing it wrong forever, so we should just keep doing it wrong is not an argument that it's right.
I don't disagree with you about that.
Okay, so I disagree with Obama doing it. I disagree with Trump doing it.
Enough.
And especially when what we're talking about is what could rise to be a nuclear war, right? We should have done things the right way. And he had indicated that he was going to wait 2 weeks, and then he didn't wait 2 weeks because Bibi Netanyahu, at least according to the Israeli press,
that's the thing, though. Like these people, all these other people did it, and Piers brought up a good point too. At some, I don't remember where it was at in the video, but like Soleimani and all these other strikes, like Trump is. This is not like a new action by Trump. Like I understand there was risk there. There is risk and all that stuff, but this is not something new. Trump. What Piers said, Trump was never like a pacifist either. He's not just going to sit by or we're not going to do it. He's responded and retaliated. You know, it just hasn't gotten us in war yet. Or some people argue this is war, but I don't think this is a war yet.
You believe it, said, we're not waiting 2 weeks. We want this done immediately. But I will say you are correct. He's not just doing this because Bibi Netanyahu demands it. He's also doing it because Miriam Adelson demands it. He took $100 million from Miriam Adelson. It was very clear what she wanted. She was clear that she wanted to annex the West Bank. So there was an imperialist plan that was put into place. And unfortunately, when you do a deal with the devil, you're going to have to eventually deliver the pound of flesh. And that is what Trump is doing, in my opinion. And more evidence of that is the fact when he tweeted that there could be a Trump hotel in Gaza. I mean, that was truly, in my opinion, the most inhumane thing he's ever tweeted.
Well, I think it was pretty clear I think what he was doing there was pretty clear. He's saying he wants a better life for Palestinian people, a life where they have beaches,
well, when you
and they
pair
have
that
hotels,
with Jared Kushner and Jared Kushner's private equity firm and their ties to what's happening in Israel, and Jared Kushner being on camera shortly after October 7th saying, wow, that property could be worth a lot of money, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It makes Americans a little bit uncomfortable now.
Okay, let me just skip a little bit to the part where you're talking about the military.
America should never use any military action.
Okay, no. He asked her about the Death to America chanting stuff. Let's see.
That has been benefit. Like, we got better in America in this way. Just was that, okay, it was a little messy. That's what happens after wars. Borders get changed. But at the very least, they were given money. I mean, you've lived here for hundreds of years.
Talking about the Israel stuff. I think it was like one of the last questions he asked her. She was on for longer than I thought. Here we go. Here it is.
Invaded. So
apparently this thing went viral. I didn't even hear about this until today.
Let me pull you back to something you said, which has caused a lot of controversy, which is this issue of dishonorable discharge. Let's take a listen.
I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever. And these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers.
When you said that, were you aware of the repercussions if people dishonorably discharged?
So just to put this into context, this is like the Q&A, live Q&A portion at the end of my show. And being facetious, but also being completely honest, that they should begin to consider, and that was somebody asking, what should we do? Like, should we leave the military? Because they also
do you regret
are
saying
recognizing that? No, I don't regret saying that. I don't
But you
regret
know the
having people
repercussions if you
actually
do
think about-
discharge dishonorably.
Okay, well, I would imagine that the people that are in the military who were going to, if they were going to listen to my podcast and they were going to dishonorably discharge, that they would know the consequences. So it's completely ridiculous. And again, we see this over and over again where people can't answer the broader questions. They try to suddenly peg in, well, you said this one thing. No. The broader conversation that we are having.
It's not a small thing.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You're basically you're encouraging U.S. servicemen and women to dishonorably discharge.
You play a clip, and I'm trying to answer it. You can't do that. You ask a question.
Well, you're trying to downplay it,
and I'm responding. No, I am. No, you're trying to upplay it. Is what the issue is. This is exactly.
I'm just repeating what you said.
You're not. You're playing what I said, and I'm responding to it and telling you that the broader piece of that conversation, when you have troops that are now asking that question, is they are recognizing that America is in steep decline, that our military comes back and they are treated like dirt, that a lot of these men, and we're talking about decades, white American males come back and they're told that they're racist and they're treated like crap, that they're white supremacists, that they have a different vision for this.
So I get the point, I guess, as far as our soldiers, military, they're gonna be the ones that go put their lives on people's kids, not these people making the decisions or getting us into situations.
This country. So why are they dying in these overseas wars for Bibi Netanyahu? Okay, and let me again try to answer that question that I asked you at the beginning, which is, what has Zionism won America?
I'm not going
what
to keep
have
coming
these
back to the
never-ending?
same thing.
No, let me finish. Why won't you let me answer that? Why won't you let me actually say what people are recognizing? You come back and there are open borders and you're told that you are racist. Okay, you come back and you're told that you are racist if you don't want open borders. Meanwhile, you're sent overseas to defend Israel's borders. It's a nonsense. And who's funding these open borders? According to Barry Weiss, and I quote, Barry Weiss said this verbatim: the Jewish connection to the refugee is not a conspiracy. That's something that we are very proud of. And she was referencing the organization HIAS, and she says it explicitly, which she said what was started by them in the 1880s, which includes immigrants that have come in like Sergey Brin. They are still the organization that is operating at our border right now, okay? That is problematic, that we have open borders while we continually and routinely are told that we have to defend somebody else's borders, okay? And again, these never-ending wars in the Middle East at the behest of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu was the one that called for Americans to invade Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, and now Iran, and we've done it. We're told Israel can defend itself, okay? But why do we have currently 2,000 troops that are in Syria under the guise of fighting ISIS? And like I said, we know Israel themselves fund terror-adjacent militants like they did to overthrow Assad. And we're done with the BS of, okay, well, they weren't really involved, Israel, in Afghanistan, because even when we fight those never-ending wars, Israel wins. Everybody knows that our boys were out there in Afghanistan guarding poppy fields, okay? And do you know what happened after we allegedly, quote unquote, lost in Afghanistan? What happened to all those poppy fields, those poppy flowers that our military was guarding? Well, the opioid crisis hit America via the Sackler family, who quite literally built the School of Medicine at Tel Aviv University. So we're just done, okay? And there's no way that we're going to go backwards. We're not going to allow you guys to emotionally condition us to go, oh, well, we got to protect Israel because of the Holocaust. It is over. They're imparting a Holocaust. America would like off this crazy train.
Okay, for the benefit of viewers who don't know what I was talking about, under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 90, dishonourable discharge can result in forfeiture of all pay and allowances up to 5 years confinement, which is a pretty heavy penalty to pay.
Yeah, I'd want my kids to go to jail before they fought for Israel. I'll say that honestly.
Okay,
I would. I have 3 sons, and I'm going to be honest with you, Pierce. I'm glad you told me that consequence. I'd take that consequence any day to them being sent back over in a coffin because they died for Israel. So.
Okay, but I think the one thing you're missing, look, I come from a big military family, a lot of military in my family.
So yeah, that was that episode. It was actually pretty interesting. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I stopped, I finished off like at Glenn Beck or something. Later on, I'm going to try to listen to the rest. And then
he's a mess. They're killers. Why would you want them to lead your nation? The only reason that they have power is because Iran's a police state. They'll pick you up and they'll put you in a camp, or they'll kill you if you dissent against the government. So they have a low-level capacity to fire some missiles at U.S. air bases. The Pentagon was certainly aware that probably would happen. And it's up to Donald Trump to respond. I hope he uses restraint. We could take them out, we being the United States, in what, 5 hours? All you got to do is knock out their ports and the people will starve to death. And Trump has not done that. Could have, didn't. And he's restrained Netanyahu in Israel. Trump, and I know that to be true. I have unique access to the Trump administration, as you may know.
All right. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, check that out later, whenever you have time, if you want, if you're interested in that stuff. So, I forgot. We got to get into it. Steven Crowder. I started seeing clips of this, and then Island Thrift sent me the full video. Steven Crowder's on Rumble and YouTube. I think he's demonetized on YouTube, unless he got remonetized. Sometimes they'll let you remonetize. But he called out Candace. He called out Ian Carroll. Let's get into it a little bit. I haven't watched this yet. She lied to you. She said we were going to die for Israel, or you were going to die for Israel. She said Trump was owned by Netanyahu. She told American soldiers to desert and get dishonorably discharged. She lied to you.
Let's go through the examples. Candace Owens said over and over again that President Trump would send you to die for Israel, for the Jews. I'm reading her actual ex-posts. Get ready, white American men. It's time for you to go die for Israel again. If you don't want to die for Israel, then you are an anti-Semite. Sign up to die in Iran for Netanyahu today, or just admit you hate Jews. Here's another one. They tried to redefine anti-Semitism, criminalize criticism of Israel on college campuses. Not true. Most crucially, seed the idea that the declaration of Christ as our king amounted to hatred against Jews. Also not accurate. All of this was done in preparation for the Greater Israel agenda, regarding which they attempted to emotionally manipulate Americans to accept. The conspiracy theorists were right again. It was always about a planned war with Iran and a doomed, heretical belief that mass slaughter of women and children is messianic. Let me read that again. It was always about a planned war. Where's the planned war?
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. This wasn't presented as an opinion. This was presented to you as fact. And I had many people go, this is clearly a planned war for Israel. That's clearly what Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to get us in. Is that what you're seeing? If it's not what you're seeing, this was dishonest. Here's another one. Our foreign policy is dictated by Israel. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. That seem like it's dictated by Israel?
That's part of the plan.
Yeah.
Deception.
Trump will continue to do as he is told by Netanyahu. Don't drop the bombs. Okay, we won't.
Mr. President.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
That sounds to me like one person's in charge. And here's the thing. That's a good thing. Shouldn't we be happy about this, guys? Shouldn't we be happy that Donald Trump at a certain point had enough and said jump, and they said how high? Both sides. Trump will continue to do as he is told by Netanyahu. If you want to know what America will do, spare yourself the
Yo, these people getting buff, man. What are they? I need to know the red. Is it the methylene blue? Is Alex Jones and Crowder on the methylene blue? I need to start working out. I mean, I'm still in the middle of like moving stuff, but I need to get on the methylene blue. I'm going to start doing some research and maybe start consistent push-ups, weights, and stuff like that. What is it? What's the new thing that these people are doing?
Fake White House press briefings and start listening to Bibi. We are a colony of Israel. Your politicians are bought and paid for. Taking separate components. There are politicians bought and paid for by AIPAC, by the way. I can't stand AIPAC for the same reason that I hate Act Blue. They support Hakeem Jeffries. But combining that and saying that we are a colony of Israel, and spare yourself the fake White House press briefings. Also implications that everything here, everyone who disagrees, was fake.
Meth blue.
If it seems like I'm being harsh, it's because you were told that the people telling you the truth were fake, and the algorithm amplifies it, and it made your life worse, and it embarrassed you.
I've heard of people on that trend, yeah.
You get it? By the way, the worst part is you don't even get to celebrate the win. No war. Good, done. No nukes in Iran. Great. America is a colony of Israel. Spare yourself all the other fake information and know that you're going to go die for Israel, which ultimately led to an entire coalition demanding the impeachment of the man you voted for. Candace Owens legitimately told service members that they should seek a dishonorable discharge, which, by the way, wouldn't be a dishonorable discharge. If you look at the way she described it, it would
It's called desertion,
be,
I think, no? Or what do they call it?
Desertion.
Yeah.
Over a war that wasn't happening.
I don't know what kind of like I said, I've had some conversations with people. I really believe some people were disappointed that it hasn't escalated further. They said they don't want war, but I think because it hasn't really turned out to that, and I pray and I hope that that's it kind of thing. But who knows? We really don't know. It's day to day, you know. But I really feel, and I've seen some people's expressions, they're almost like disappointed. Like if let's say this worked out, let's say, because now they're saying, you know, the site, the facility wasn't completely destroyed. Let's say the facility is destroyed and it doesn't lead to any escalation of war with us and anybody else, and maybe that's it. I feel like these people would truly be disappointed because it wouldn't have worked out the way they've been saying and touting to their audience and scaring people and stoking fear and all this shit.
Are you done with Donald Trump?
America,
or could you see a way
enough
that you
said.
would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, he can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen, and it is happening.
Wow.
But I just think that the picture of...
Wow. I mean, hey, she's... That's how
Hot
she
take from a
feels.
veteran who has been there. Iran cannot have nukes.
Mass. Why did I say mass? What was I looking at? I meant to say Island Thrifts. I'm tripping. Yeah. The base. I remember you were telling me a little bit about the base too. That's over there, or the base in Iraq, right? That has that cannon stuff, whatever. So Island Thrift said, from a veteran who's been there, Iran cannot have nukes. JLB, thank you for the 20. Enough said. Yeah, the Candace Owens thing is not new. Donald Trump has been a chronic disappointment. What a disappointment to hear Candace say this. If you're new to that, you haven't been seeing her. This is how she feels. Not anything new. Does anyone still listen to her? She has a big audience. She has a really big audience. I mean, she left from the Daily Wire. But the other guy, Dave Portnoy, made a good point. She was like left. She was like very left. And I know people have a change, right? Then she went right, very right. And then I don't know where she's at now, I guess. It's almost like she's going back left. I'm not really sure. She says, I do, but not every day. Yeah, this is not a new thing for Candace.
LG19 writes, serious question, will there be jobs or community military members can join when I get a dishonorable discharge for not contributing to delete people or my body for the interests of a certain foreign nation benefit? I love this question. I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what?
Yeah, desert for a war that's not even happening. And here's the thing. Yeah, I get it. X isn't real life. But it turns into real life if people believe it.
Yeah, people do. I mean, we saw the Amazon worker the other day. She was like, what am I going to do? I'm working, but how am I going to work if there's a war going on? And what am I supposed to do? Everybody else is just going on like normal. Yeah, people have to work. People have to do this and have to do that. What do you think? People are just going to stop still and not pay the bills or go here, go there, go to their doctor appointments and shit because what's happening over there? And there was that one guy, too, the military guy. He's like, man, I can't really tell you. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but just so you know, be prepared. Stock up. And he just cuts off the video like that. That thing got millions of views. People scared and all kinds of shit. Later on, he comes on and he admits that he has no idea what's happening. He has no idea about anything. He was just saying, be careful. just be like aware.
Some soldiers, I guarantee you.
It's like the hurricane shit, because I've been here for so long now. I feel like in Florida, I got my little supplies. I get ready and stuff like that. But every time it's this mass fear. People go out, they spend all their money. They have no money left. They buy all this supplies. I mean, I have my little stuff here and there. I get it as I can, but I don't go crazy. I mean, of course, you want to have something in case something really does happen, but like the hysteria every time, it's just like, oh my God. And of course, I get it. Businesses, they're making money. It's a whole thing. And the sales are going up,
Who believed it? Some soldiers still fell for it. Some are still falling for it. Like Private who is still AWOL and doesn't know the war is over, anti-Semitic Jim. This guy got the short end. He doesn't hates Jews. Look,
in an attic.
People make mistakes.
Real shit. They were doing, I remember this. One of the years, I was like, they said this hurricane, I forgot what year it was. I don't know if it was Wilma. They said a hurricane was going to take over all of Florida. And so I went and stayed at my aunt's house. But the way they were carrying on, they were showing you simulations of like if you get caught up in the hurricane, how you're going to get blown away.
Storm 80 miles per hour will looking at some damage to unanchored mobile homes.
Jesus Christ.
This is now a Category 2 storm, 100 mile per hour winds.
The heck?
There is no way you can stand in this.
Okay.
Significant damage to roofs, to windows.
Jesus.
This is now a Category 3, 115 miles per hour.
Oh my God, what's wrong with this guy?
Pulling my cheeks and my skin back.
What the heck?
Nothing happened. I mean, it was some wind and stuff like that. That's why they always make those memes where it's like I survived the hurricane and you see like a lawn chair blown over. I mean, it's all good until something actually happens, but you have your supplies. You should try to get a little bit, not going last minute crazy, cutting people off on the road, getting run over, getting shot and killed. People get crazy, all this stuff. Have a couple stuff in your house and some over time, get a little bit of supplies. It's just like the toilet paper people.
Oh, he's being held down.
After just a few minutes in Cat 3 winds last year, the engineers said enough.
Enough. Get him out of there. Oh, well, yeah, this was too. So Candace was saying that apparently, I guess they're saying she believes, Candace thinks influencers are being paid money to make anti-Candace videos. I used to like her. I don't know anymore. I wasn't paid anything. I wish, though. We'll see.
Make sure that you're clear on what we're looking for. The people have given us names and said, this is the marketing campaign that's paying for this, or this is the organization foundation that offered me money for this. But you have to present concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware that a campaign is happening, but we need to actually see the email. So you have to submit the email that you received.
Yeah, I don't move. Unless it's like Cat 3, Cat 4, I don't move. I really don't, like, what I mean, like, I don't get, like, it has to be at least Category 3 and up. I'm like, all right, let me get some stuff or whatever. I'll have a couple things.
The text message that you received to make a video about Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson. Again, I don't care if you already made the video. I just want to know who specifically is behind it, so we can out that person, but we will never use your name. I don't really care. It's a tough economy, so do what you got to do to make money. $10K is now the bounty for that information.
$10,000 bounty. Wow. Oh, this is Ian Carroll. So Ian Carroll, he's very, very popular. I first saw him on Twitter, I think, and he's kind of, I guess you could say, kind of conspiracy, but he's really big, and he started helping out on Candace's show too. I think he was hosting while she was, I don't know if she was on vacation or something.
Ian Carroll, who I believe works with Candace as well. He put this out there. Again, anyone who said false flag or PSYOP, the only way that works is if there's World War III. Accountability matters. This, quote, stopping Iran from getting a nuke narrative is propaganda cooked up by Israel. The nation that stole its nuclear weapons tech hasn't signed the treaties and doesn't allow inspections. Well, it didn't sign the treaties, doesn't allow inspections. That part is true. Put in a little bit of truth. And then you believe the rest. It's propaganda cooked up by Israel. Leading into the war in Iraq, there wasn't enough support for the war, so they created the anthrax hoax with anthrax that was eventually traced to a CIA lab in order to manufacture more consent. Watch for a false flag to do the same for Iran now. So Iran's nuclear program, the idea that they have one, the idea that they were enriching uranium, was a psyop to lead to a false flag to draw the United States into another war. And of course, if you continue down the timeline, World War III, something, World War III. None of it works if we're not in another war. None of it works if we are not today sending Americans to die and shed their blood. And by the way, it won't work if we find ourselves in a war unrelated to this 2 or 3 months from now, just to be clear. So don't do another 2007 reference. We know how this played out now. We know what the intent was. We know there wasn't a false flag because a false flag would necessitate the reaction for the false flag. False flag for what? Perpetual war. Yeah? False flag for what? To go to World War III. But where is it? It's like some people just wake up and look for ways to lie.
Oh, this lady here, the FBI is investigating the vice mayor of Chuday, California, Cynthia Gonzalez, after she posted a video on social media calling on the 18th Street and Florencia 13 gang members to protect their turf against ICE. Just effing get your members in order. So she's calling on the gang members to do something about ICE.
So a vice mayor in California accused of calling on gang. Sources tell Fox Cynthia Gonzalez, California, accused of calling on gangs to defend their territory against ICE agents. Sources tell Fox Cynthia Gonzalez Cudahy in Los Angeles County is under federal investigation for allegedly posting this video last week. Watch.
You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at?
We reached out to Gonzalez to see if to verify this video, and we have not heard back, but we'll let you know. So a vice mayor in California accused of calling on gangs.
Trump.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Hold up. Hey, niggas who be thinking we soft.
They don't.
All right, let's see what else is going on. Anything else? Padres, thank you so much, says we have satellites on Fordo 24/7. We will see them using the site if it still works. True. And 37 hours later, boom! Let me check real quick some of the updates on the website, see if there's anything. I haven't heard any bombings today after all this stuff from last night, but GOP senators say they'll need more information to know if our Iran nuclear program was destroyed. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Israel will respond forcefully to any ceasefire violations. So they had the UN ambassador had said that, I guess, today. So right now there's a ceasefire. It's in effect. Iran's U.S. ambassador thanks Qatar for its role in the ceasefire. So, you know, some people are still pushing that there's no ceasefire or whatever. I mean, I don't know if they're still pushing it or not, but if anybody does, as of now, I mean, who knows? Shit, tomorrow, tonight, whatever, it could end. But Israel and Iran, there's a ceasefire in effect. How long that remains or how long that, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. They're also saying, meanwhile, in Gaza, Israel's offensive has shown no signs of abating. That's really sad, the Gaza whole thing, man. All those people are dead, you know. Death toll in northern Iran after Israeli strikes rise to 16. So maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll get a little quieter the next couple days. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Anything's open. Anything's on the table. Anything could happen. By the way, a grand jury decided on first-degree murder charges for Carmelo Anthony. I was gonna try to find the video and post something on the Clips channel, because I reacted to an article too where the Daily Mail said they viewed the video and that they didn't see any reason, they didn't see any kind of like altercation before Carmelo pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin in the heart. So that's pretty damning. I always thought it was weird when the supposed family representative, the priest that allegedly hits babies or drops them or whatever he does, God's chosen, anointed, when he was saying, oh, we have video, he never showed or dropped any kind of video. That guy was pretty wicked, man. The way that guy put Austin Metcalf's father down, even when the father was trying to be like diplomatic, even though his son was murdered, you know, these people just kept stepping on him and all that kind of stuff disrespectfully. Very nasty and vile. Very nasty and vile. Let me see if there's anything else. Thousands of worshippers in the Philippines stunned when a white cloud resembling Jesus appears in the sky. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. Bam. That's kind of cool. Let's take a look at it again. I guess so. Kind of. Maybe it could be a little bit. Let the world no. Let the world is Satan watching? Actually, this could be Satan. It's deception, right? The serpent. Let me see what else is going on. Play this one. Oh, thank you. Okay, I just saw what you sent. Incoming. Oh, so this is the CRAM, right? This is CRAM. This was a couple of years ago. Afghanistan. So this type of thing, they have it in the base, the American base in Iraq, right? And so you were telling me they have this type of CRAM thing, I guess in multiple bases, but the recent one that Iran shot to the U.S. base, they had CRAM, I think. Incoming. Oh,
alligator, crocodile, snake, Alcatraz, and Florida Everglades.
Oh, shit. Whoa. The hell is that? Yo, that's gangster. Oh, my God. Was that just bullets are shooting up? Oh, shit. That's gangster. I need something like that in the front of the house. I need something like that. Zzz. Dang, that's pretty cool. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, that video, the Florida Everglades Alcatraz. Let me see. I had a video clip for that. I don't know what I did with it, because I did have a video for it. Maybe I lost it. All right, let me pull it up. I did have it. I saved it twice, and I keep forgetting to talk about it or show the video. And the Everglades building some type of detention center. It's supposed to be like a moat or something with alligators surrounding it. Let me just type it in search. Florida detention. Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz. I'm trying to find the video. Let's try Alcatraz. Oh, this is it, I think. Here we go.
Attorney General James Upmeyer here at the Miami-Dade Collier Training Facility. This is an old virtually abandoned airport facility right in the middle of the Everglades. Florida's been leading on immigration enforcement, supporting the Trump administration and ICE's efforts to detain and deport criminal aliens. The governor tasked state leaders to identify facilities. I think this is the best one. As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
Whoa.
This 30 square mile area is completely surrounded by the Everglades. Presents a efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter. If people get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
I think a lot of people would still risk it. The alligators and stuff, people would risk it. Risk the Everglades, take a run to escape. What's this? Oh, nearly 20 people have been injured in a single lightning strike? What? This was in South Carolina. They just posted this. Nearly a dozen transported to the hospital. At this time, emergency crews are on the scene with Lake Murray Public Park in Lexington, South Carolina, after a lightning strike injured nearly 20 people. The bolt struck a group consisting of 6 adults and 12 children. Wow. They say, what are the odds of getting hit by lightning? Just one person. Well, I guess they were I guess they were on top of each other. Lightning. One in 1.2 million. Wow. Just like the rare shark attacks that never happened. 12 and 1. Or what, how many? 12 or 20? 20 people injured. Nearly 20 people. Wow. No way. Is this true? There's this guy. Okay, Alex Jones claims the Liver King is arrested for terroristic threats for an alleged planned attack on Joe Rogan. So, let's see. If you don't know who the Liver King is, he's just this guy that got really popular. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I thought he was like really... they've always accused him of being on steroids. He's a fitness influencer and a businessman. Oh yeah, his thing was eating supposedly raw organ meat consumption and intense workouts. And he was featured on a Netflix documentary, Netflix's Untold Liver King, May 2025. So in some instances, what the hell is that? Oh, I gotta take this. Oh, okay, I hit the wrong button. I don't know what I did. Okay, let me see.
All right, I've got a breaking exclusive for you that I got from our sources. The Austin Police Department, as we speak, is on their way to a hotel in downtown Austin to arrest the Liver King.
Liver King.
Making a lot of bizarre, cryptic threats to Joe Rogan. And that he's going to come to town and fight him. And now he's there and has posted videos that are very, very direct threats. And so I am told that he's going to be arrested for terroristic threats. And that just shows how crazy society's going. In the videos, he looks extremely deranged with dilated pupils. And so we hope the Liver King gets better. But this is what is happening in America and around the world. We need God, folks. We need God. We need to get back to God. So we hope everything goes okay, and we hope that I'm told it's happening right now, so that's why we're waiting until we get the word.
Okay, real quick, P.S.
Yo, look at his face. What's going on with him?
What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm going to choke that motherfucker out, lights out. I'm going to choke him out. And I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happens, because like to wake up from that dream, that's a good feeling. And then anything else that you could break on me, break it on me. I hope that you won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping, because I have something actually to fight for. Actually, that's my family. I have a principle to fight for. That's what I'm. And oh, well, what if he actually does what he's saying?
Oh.
What if that would be interesting? That would be interesting. What do you have to fight for? You're fighting. I hope you're mad. You should choke me out. You know how to do that. You're trained. You're trained. You got a black belt. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. I hope you choke me out. And if you don't choke me out, these other limbs will be interesting. Should be very interesting. That's the PS. It's just, I already thought about my game plan. I don't have a plan. I'm not going to train. But I hope you've been training. And I'm ready whenever you're ready. If it's tomorrow, that will be great. Let's do it as soon as possible. If it's not tomorrow, then just whenever you're ready.
Has he been picking at its face? Is that scabs or something?
Yeah. This is actually happening. And just remember on the backside, this is good. It's fun. It'll be fun. It'll be like, there's real tension, real fight, no, shame on you, bro. Shame on you. I'm going to make you pay. I am going to actually make you pay. And what you pay will be donated to Good and True. So that's how barbarians bleed. The message.
Wow.
Support anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs, I'm fighting for my family. So limb. Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds. An actual savage. And so at first you're like, fuck that guy. And right? When you all of a sudden he did get your attention, which I already did before this, you're saying, I'm going to choke that motherfucker, that piece of fucking shit. I'm going to choke him out. That's what warriors do. You and Andrew Tate are good warriors. But you're actually better than that real tension we have. Comedy that you do is Good and True. We have real tension. But what I see in you is comedy is Good and True. Touch points. How people laugh. If we don't make fun of them at their expense, they laugh. You should all make fun of me. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works, and then you should get paid for it. And let's go. Because we're leaving. We're going to Austin. What was my very last point?
That we're gonna kick Joe Rogan's ass.
The real Jew said it. Oh, it's my speech. Justin Fitz.
I don't know what's going on with that guy. He don't look right though. Something looks like off with him. You know, like something's not there. And in the other video, the scabs he had, it looks like meth scabs or something. You know, like somebody's picking at their skin. But who knows? Could be anything. I don't know what kind of beef if they had any beef. Who knows? It's very weird. This Iranian is lucky, not because we caught him, but because the loaded 9mm pistol he had hidden in his pants when we cuffed him didn't go off. Oh no! Oh. We arrested Iranian national Behzad Safran Bahari Nejad June 22nd because he came to the United States on an F1 student visa December 9, 2016, and he was arrested next year for trying to suffocate a family member. His wife claimed he threatened her and her family in Iran. She was so terrified of him, she got a restraining order against him. The University of Texas terminated his student visa in 2018, and the following year he was ordered to be removed. He attempted to reopen his case, but the immigration judge denied his motion. He'll be staying with us pending his final removal proceedings. Weird that the gun wasn't secured prior to the arrest and photo op. That's kind of true, too. That is true. It's like a photo op. Okay, put your gun right there. We'll take a picture of you. All right, guys. I guess that's it. I'm going to call it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for riding with me tonight. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll be back tonight or not. If not, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. But we'll see if anything pops off. I think it's dinner time, too. You get some dinner. It's already 8:30. The big, beautiful deal. Big, beautiful bill.